So if you all got a piece of paper, what I'd like you to do is to draw a horizontal line across that piece of paper. Okay? So you got if it's horizontal, you got a top and a bottom. Above that line, I want you to write the letter Q in capital letters, Q. Below the line, right underneath that Q, I want you to write A. The Q stands for a question. Now I want you to repeat the Q's across the rest of that horizontal line. So you got above the horizontal line, you got Q, 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 Q. Below that line, right vertically beneath that Q, I want you to put A. How many is that?
That's 3.
4. Okay? The Q stands for you. Actually, it stands for question, but that's your construct. That's your script. Your job is to ask enough questions to get the prospect, the lead, to give you, or at least up in their heads, an answer that gets them increasingly emotionally vested in their issue, their problem. Because when you do that, you now have them on the edge of coming to you then with the next question, which is usually 4th or 5th question, that says, well, do you have what I need? Now here's a tip. When a prospect asks you a question, and sometimes it's just, well, what's it cost? That's actually a buying signal. I mean, they wouldn't ask this. They would just kind of get up and walk away if they weren't interested. So use questions.
Do you answer that buying question or the price question early on in your conversation without showing the value of who you are and what you're doing? Or do you try to delay the price question until later when they understand the value?
No. So it's sort of the deferring, but politely deferring the question. If somebody says, well, what's this cost? I'm going to say, look, I don't want to mislead you. In order for me to tell you what I believe it will cost, is I need to ask some more questions.
Okay.
Is that fair? May I do that? And that's this whole notion. I want you to all get this. Every question that you want to ask should be preceded by a question. In other words, Bruce, would you mind if I asked you a question about X?
Not at all.
Because I want permission, right? And then I'm going to ask that question. Bruce, sometimes we will sit down in our meeting with people, maybe the first meeting in our complimentary sessions, and we'll sit down and we say something. This is going to be kind of global at a high level, but we'll say, so what would be a great outcome for you today from this meeting? How can I make this the most productive hour that you've had this month, this week? And they say, well, I've got this issue.
Okay.
So great. Okay. So if you could solve that issue, why would that be so important to you?
There you go.
And then I'm going to ask, well, if I can do that, why would that be important to you? Look, I know it sounds painstaking and a little bit weird, to take somebody there, but if you don't get them emotionally reinvested or revested, don't know what that is, revested in their problem, then no matter what you come up with, they will not. Look, guys, the purchasing decisions, this is long-standing studies have been conducted on this. More than 80, and I've read studies that say it's 95%, more than 80% of the purchasing decision is based on emotion.
Yep.
Not on logic. Although everybody would like to say that they make their decisions on logic. I'm going, no, you don't.